Testing, testing, testing. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. What is Friday? It's Friday. TGIF. It is 6:30 a.m. EST on a Friday. Isn't today the 20th? I think today's the 20th of March. 3 months down almost of 2026. And I'm just looking out the window, watching the sunrise or waiting for the sun to rise this early morning. I've been up since 4 or so. Eyes tired, boss. But it's my last day in the office, well, at home to work, and I'll just do as much as I can. I do have a lot of work to do. I swear to you, I think these people said, child, she about to be off. We need to make her work. We need to create some work, allegedly. Allegedly. But anyway, so I was up. I was like thinking about something from last night, and I was like, let's just go ahead and do a live stream because I know how many of people, basically feel about this. But seriously, I have questions. So I have questions, and I need to know if y'all have answers because I got questions. I mean, y'all might have questions, but I ain't got no answers. But I got questions, so it's more y'all. So maybe y'all have some answers, but. Shout out to the weekend TGIF. Shout out to all of y'all. Happy Friday. I see you. I appreciate you. Please make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you are new. Let me go ahead and say, make sure you comment. Shout out to Corey Holcomb. Make sure you comment. Shout out to Flacco and his video from yesterday. Let me tell you, that dude is working. Shout out to Poetic Flacco. If he ain't working, nobody working on this here tube. All right. He got the thumbnails are crazy, funny, and then the commentary is just funny, engaging, and I'm happy for him, and I love that for him. And his series going after Corey, of course, y'all already know I love that because everybody seems to want to give that man a pass, and I'm out here screaming at the top of my lungs like, what are we missing right now? Which kind of is one of the examples, probably an example of this blind loyalty that I just don't understand. Good morning, G Honda. Yes, hit the like button. I appreciate you. You're so sweet. Tadisha, good morning. Early morning, last minute stream. But like with the Corey Holcomb situation, Corey and Anton, of course, and there's all this vitriol and, issue with what Anton said and nothing for Corey Holcomb, given what he said, when he said it, how many times he said it. But that can just be passed. That could just be a pass, right? Morning, boo. That could just be a pass. It's not a big deal, which is similar to like the R. Kelly situation. Again, it's not like we didn't hear and know what was allegedly going on at the time. It's not like many of us didn't see the video. It's not like we weren't here when he allegedly married Aaliyah, even though it's true, but allegedly married Aaliyah. And she was fifth damn teen or fourth damn teen, and he was 20 some odd years old. And the even crazier part about that whole situation is like nobody gave a damn about the parents. No one had anything to say about the parents. They didn't bear any responsibility to none of that. It's confusing to me. And I think it's like these things in the community, because I know somebody's going to say, but white people do it too. I'm not talking about that. Like, can we ever focus on where we can actually make the actual change at and to do something differently to get a different result, or just continue to act like nothing is there. Don't worry about it. And then keep it moving. Nothing changes. Same issues. Wash, rinse, repeat. So for those that are regulars, you already know that I got this monthly call with my family members because people live in different places and people don't come together anymore unless it's for funerals, which is another thing for Black community. We usually come together for Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easters and major holidays, people's birthdays, family reunions. Those are just things that we, at least in the 70s, that we used to do regularly. It was a given. It was like the sun is going to rise, you going to Meemaw's house for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Period. Good morning, Amanize. Shout out to everyone that is here. But that's going to the wayside, right? So we do this family Zoom call, and not many people show up to that either. But it'd be my mom, my auntie, which is her sister, my uncle, my great uncle, my great aunt, and then a random person will show up. But that's the core of the people who I know pretty well, right? I feel like I've told y'all also that my mother was always one who's like saying to our family, why are you so loyal to the Democrats? They don't ever do anything for you. All y'all do is vote Democrat. Why do y'all always vote Democrat? And they always say stuff like, girl, hush. Shout out to shout out to Generation X. Let me know. I know y'all heard that. Girl, hush. Because all I hear is saying girl hush. I don't know if they ever said that to boys. Girl, if you don't hush up, if you don't hush your mouth, and then like just shoo you away like you're nobody, like you have no brain, you don't know what you're talking about. Gone, child, gone. And she would say that all the time. Like that's why it's in my brain. Like I know it was her out here saying this shit. So to now get on a phone call with her, and the only thing that she ever says is, what are we gonna do with that crazy man in the house? And I'll be like, oh, girl, what? And then of course with the auntie and my uncle pretty much stays quiet and he's just here to participate, child. But my other auntie who got this wig on, child, and it's white hair. Right, or shut up, girl. Exactly. Just shut you right down. You ain't got no brain. Don't think. Basically, that's what that means. Girl, shut up. Don't think. You doing too much. You using your brain too much. Right? Okay. So I'm and then my auntie, because I think I told y'all my nephew, my sister's son, is going to join the military, right? Which is typical in our family. All of my uncle on the phone, military. All of them that have gone on, military. My dad, my stepdad, military. We come from a military town. So my nephew, who's graduating high school early, you guys, he is graduating a year ahead of time. Shout out to him. All of my sister's children, she has 4, are very, very smart kids. They're all very different, but they're all the same at the same time, if that makes sense. But none of them are stupid, dumb, anything like that. Okay. They're very, very intelligent. So thank you, boo. So if he is smart enough to say, child, I'm not going to be sitting up here in this indoctrination camp for another year. I'm going to just go ahead and head on out, which is basically what he's saying. He was very, very close to my stepfather who just died. Rest in peace to him, which is his mother's father. And then he said, I'm going to join the military. And the funny thing about it, my sister is military as well. He's joining the Navy, which is what my stepfather, that's the branch that he was in. So I feel like not only is it an ode to his mom and his grandfather, but very much so an ode to his grandfather, since he's going into the same branch that he went in. Okay. And my auntie says, congratulations to insert name, but I just wish he wouldn't do it. I think he's gonna regret it. And then my mom was like, yeah. And then I had to say something. My child was eating. And then I had to unmute and say, I'm sorry, so what's wrong with the Navy? Well, no, there's really nothing wrong with the Navy, but now he's gonna go and possibly go get killed. I said, well, what about the rest of the people in the military? I said, I feel like that's a little offensive, and I'm not even in the military. Well, because of that crazy man, what does that have to do with anything? So everybody prior to Donald Trump was saying is what we're saying right now. I know they was like, this, shut up, girl. I know they wanted to say, hush, girl, right? But no, I'm pressing because I'm tired of getting on these. This is why I'm going to stop going. And I don't want to stop going because I don't want to be disrespectful to the elders. Okay. I'm getting there, child. I'm getting there. I don't want to be disrespectful. I want to go ahead and do the right thing by people who may not be here, including myself, honestly. I'm not young, right? But, if this is how we get together and talk, and this is how we get together and talk. And so I'm pressing. This is I didn't say this, but in my mind, I'm like, this is ignorant conversation. And then my uncle is sitting right there. He's a retired military army for years. I don't know how long, for years. Girl, they probably wanted to. Girl, my mom probably had her finger on the kick out button. I was just saying, right? So they're just like, well, with this crazy man, and they're gonna go, and he could go to a war, and we don't even know what the war is about. I said, well, didn't that happen with the weapons of mass destruction? No, it didn't. I said, okay. I said, now listen, I ain't gonna sit here and act like I'm some expert, but I could have swore they said there was weapons of mass destruction and then found out there really wasn't any weapons of mass destruction. They just wanted to go to war for whatever. Now, mind you, I don't agree with this war. Let me just let you know from the gate. I do not agree with this war. I'm like, but I believe that when you join the military, you know that you serve not only the people, but you serve at the pleasure of the president. So that's the commander in chief. And I think that they know that there is a chance that they may go to war, they may have to go fight. And if they don't, that's a day problem. I said, but I'm pretty sure he knows since he's graduating a year early. And there are some smart kids, like I said earlier. Oh, no, it's nothing against him. I said, oh, then what you got against the Navy? I'm like, because I'm pressing y'all. I'm like, well, what y'all got against the Navy? And then they said, there's nothing wrong with the Navy. It doesn't matter. I'm like, oh, so maybe we don't need the military then to keep us safe. Maybe we should just continue to have 9/11s then. Let's just fight everything here on this soil. And then we can be happy. And then who's going to fight it though if we don't have people that go into the military? Well, no, we do need the military. Exactly. And you just never know which president at the end of the day is going to do whatever it is that they do for the reasons that they do it. So I said this thing, I said, I know y'all can't stand Donald Trump, and I'm not saying that I like him, but I don't think that it's right to offend our uncle on the phone who served in the military by saying this. And then my uncle pipes up because he's very quiet as a man. He just there. He's like, start shaking his head. Yeah. I said, or be disrespectful to my stepfather who just died and was in the Navy, which I'm pretty sure that's who he's, taking the example from, or my father who is not doing too well at this point in life. And he served 40 years in said military. I said, somebody got to do it. Someone has to do it so that people can be here to run off at the mouth and then don't even recognize and realize the reason why they can be here running off at the mouth. Thank you, Tadisha. Well, I'm just saying, I was like, no, what you're saying is that you have a problem with Donald Trump, and that's fine. I said that's fine to have a problem with Donald Trump. But I feel like sometimes we have to be mindful of what it is that we're saying. One, it's insulting to try to act like that this young man is not intelligent enough to know what he's doing. I'm pretty sure that most intelligent people that go into the military know that there is a chance that they may have to go to war. Okay. We do know that there's fools that just think that they want to go into the military to get the benefits of the military, but they don't want to do anything for the military. Let's not act like we don't know that. That's not what my nephew is doing. That's not who he is. And then there's other people like my father and probably my, excuse me, stepfather, ended up going into the military because if they didn't go into the military, they would have been in jail or dead because they was acting like jackasses, and they were given an option. You either go to the military or you go to jail. That's how my dad ended up in the military. And then but he did say that it's the best decision that he ever made in his life because it's afforded him a great life and lifestyle. And if he really didn't like it, he wouldn't have served for 40 years. He wouldn't have served for 40 years. This is why I'm not going to allow the disrespect to my uncle on the phone, my father, nor my stepfather, who just died. And the crazy part about it is that, oh my God. Sorry, y'all. The crazy part about it, the crazier part about it, right, is that my mother and stepfather have been divorced for at least 30 plus years. And even though they were divorced for 30 some years, and this is too much, right? It's too much information for me to be disclosing. His previous wives have already died. So my mom is the last wife that he had. And they're not married. They haven't been married for 30 years, right? She gets his Social Security. So she's been informed that she gets his Social Security. Wow. Where did Social Security come from? Where did Social Security come from? You know what I mean? So she didn't even know that that was a thing. She's his last living wife, not wife now, obviously, but you would think it would go to the kids. Now, I don't listen. This is not my expertise. I don't know how it works like this, but because she is his only living wife, she's the one that ends up getting his Social Security, and then she's going to participate in a freaking conversation like this, trying to act like that somebody has done something wrong to her, military wise, excuse me, presidential wise, that she's going to sit here and say this after, especially after benefiting from said military this late in life, off of a death of a person that you haven't even spoken to, probably honestly, in those whole 30 plus years. In those whole 30 plus years. And this is a person, my mother, who's very intelligent, y'all. She's very intelligent, but it's just like now all of a sudden, your whole stance of your whole life has changed over Donald Trump. You're not even this person. You're not even this type of a person. And here you go. And here you go in front of my uncle, who's still here, mind you. And it only has anything to do with Donald Trump, because I'm telling y'all, it wasn't there none of this when Obama was president. And you know, I voted for Obama. I don't have no problem with saying that. We went down, me and her and some of our family went down there when he got inaugurated in the freaking freezing ass cold. I remember it like it was yesterday. But now all of a sudden it's like people are allowing this to control them so much that you just say some ignorant ass stuff and you offend people right here. You offend me. You don't even give a damn. You offend my father. You offend my nephew. Those are offensive statements as far as I'm concerned. I don't care how old you are. I didn't curse anybody out. I didn't yell. I didn't do anything like that. I just turned questions back. So you saying my nephew is stupid? So you saying this, so you saying that we don't need a military? So you trying to say that we don't need our soldiers? And the whole time I'm saying this, my uncle is sitting there just nodding his head, agreeing with me. I don't appreciate that at all. Y'all, You just don't understand how loyal I am. My loyalty, since I'm talking about loyalty, lies with the military. Always, always, always. Is it because that's what my family is? Probably. But I also can recognize that if we didn't have them, so many people wouldn't be able to run off at the mouth and say the stupid shit that they say. These people that are carrying on in Minnesota, and I don't know if they still are because I haven't looked into it. Because sometimes this shit just frustrates the hell out of me. You carry on about how bad you hate what goes on here, and I'm not saying anything is perfect, and yes, I know that there's racism, and I know that there's systemic racism, and I know that there are people that don't like other people, hate other people. I know this, but I also know that there are some things that I'm not going to waste my energy with, and that is trying to convince someone that they should like me, because I feel like that's what it comes down to personally, right? I don't give a rat's ass. That's a flash from the past too. Whether you like me or not. I don't. I don't. I don't give a damn if Donald Trump likes me. I don't. I don't. I don't give a damn. Honestly, if they like me after that phone call last night. I got to be honest with y'all, because every time we get, this is why nobody comes, in my opinion, because even though our families getting smaller because the elders are have died, right? There's still this whole subset of people that are around my age or a little bit older than me that don't come either. Why don't they come? My sister doesn't even come. She was like, why do I want to do that and listen to that? Listen to them? She said, what am I going to learn from them? What am I going to get out of that hour or so of my life with them? I said, I just look at it as like, spending time with your family the best way you know how with this opportunity that we have. But I'm telling y'all, I was in the restaurant. I went to pick up dinner. I was in the restaurant and I was looking at the time because they send out a text reminder, and I was just like, do I even want to do this? I'm pondering, y'all. Do I even want to do this? I was like, do the right thing. It's about doing the right thing for the family, because you might not be here much longer. They might not be here much longer. You don't want to regret it later. Go on and go. So I get everything situated, and then I go get my laptop and sit on the couch and turn it on. I'm late. That's fine. And then it always, always, always turns to freaking politics. So if we're getting together as a family because, this is the best way, stuff could happen to anybody, right? Do you think that that is the best need to be? This is what we need to talk about. So can we talk about anybody had a baby lately? Has anybody got married lately? Anybody move? Anybody going on vacation? Oh, I'm going to St. Martin, prayerfully. We don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about the family reunion plan. What are we planning to do? Where it's going to be? Or remember the time when? How about that? Remember when Granny did this, that, and the third? Remember when such and such was born? Remember when you was here and you finally met my grandchildren? No, 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 no. It got to be political and Donald Trump. So then it forces me to start thinking about the content lately and how loyal so many Black people are to Democrats, which I've been trying to point out the connection with D9, right? Shout out to Queen. I'm sorry, boo. She said, "Thank you, boo. I appreciate you." She said, "I wanted to join after high school and I almost made it, but my medical condition was like, child, where you think you going?" um, OFC, I don't know what that means, child. Things probably have changed now, but at the time they wouldn't allow you if you had a medical condition. I think that is a thing. I think that is a thing. It could be anything though. Child, they definitely, from what I understand, be definitely looking you over. They definitely be looking you over. They say we're not gonna take you in here and then have to take care of your ass, even though they gotta take care of their asses anyway. They've been taking care of my stepfather and my dad forever. Cause child, I don't know if people understand. I'm sorry, let me get back on this military time talk because I don't know that people don't understand, even with the oppressor, the things that these people have seen, the things that these people go through, for you to not even show some bit of respect, especially you've known our family longer than me. You've known the people that have died before me. And then this is the thanks that they get. I can't imagine what the conversations are when somebody like me is not around to push back. To say, do y'all even realize that all this chaos that's going on is allowed because of the fact that we do have the military, and then they keep that mess over there? Yes, I understand, because they were like, oh, well, people have died, and this is supposed to be a 5-week war, and I'm not sure, y'all. I'll let y'all let me know what the terms are and what's been going on because I just can't handle everything. I just cannot handle everything going on in the news in the world, okay? I'm not that person, right? But then she's like, my mom is like, however many people died, y'all. Excuse me, I don't know. I don't know if it's 5, maybe it's 5. But they died. Or no, she said they were killed, right? And I said, but isn't that a part of being in the military that you might have to go to war and unfortunately you might die? Well, it's not right for unnecessary war. Oh, so it's okay to die for a necessary war, but not for an unnecessary war. And I don't like that terminology, but since she used it, oh, so when it's an unnecessary war that you deem as unnecessary, but if it's a necessary, I said because I believe all presidents probably have had a war started. Oh, well, they had a reason. Okay, well, they still knew what they were signing up for. You're only focused on the one person that clearly has an effect on you. It clearly has an effect on you. But I want to know, and I didn't say this part, but just in my mind, I'm just like, well, I want to know, were you this upset when any of these other presidents started war? That's why the only thing that I could think of, yeah, is the I think it was Desert Storm. I feel like we talked about this the other day, where they was talking about, oh, there's weapons of mass destruction, and then found out there wasn't no weapons of mass destruction. And I feel like that was under a Bush. I don't know which one it was. And then you find out later that there wasn't any, and I feel like they was over there for a while because that was back in the 90s. And I'm like, but y'all didn't have no problem with that. I don't remember none of these discussions back then when any of that was going on. Oh well, that's not true. Oh, she said that's not true. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I just made that up in my head, but I know damn well that war was started over mass weapons of mass destruction. But I could have swore it was found out that was not a true thing. And from what I understand, there's been several wars that have been started over false information for whatever the reasons are. But again, y'all, I'm not a historian and that's just not my lane and I'm not well versed on it. I'm like, so then every other war was okay for all the people because then I wanted to go into the Vietnam War because I know that was horrible, still going on when I was born. But I know people don't like to talk about that because my dad will not share certain information with me with regard to what's happened to him when he's been in Afghanistan. He was in Afghanistan and I believe he was in Desert Storm as well. Child, 40 years, you tell me what wars he was in. Because he was gone. He was not here. He was gone. And he doesn't um care for Republicans either, meaning my dad. But you know what he still did, regardless of who was the president? He served in the military regardless. He served at the for the commander in chief, whoever it was. And yes, there's a possibility that it's some bullshit or something that you don't believe in, but he went and did his duty for us. For people to sit here and run off at the mouth and be disrespectful. Oh, you only want to be in the military when it's a Democrat in the military, and then it's okay if they start a war, and then don't nobody have nothing to say about it. This is not me defending Donald Trump. This is me saying, why are you so loyal to these people? Like, at least understand what the heck is going on with every single last one of them, since you want to only critique this one and have issue with this one, but don't have issue with that one. How come it's only an issue when it's a Republican? I said I did say this. I said what needs to be done is people need to be contacting they daggone senators, Congress, all those people. Because if he's out here being a king, because of course she tossed out he's out here being a king, and I'm not saying that he's not running ragged. I'm not saying that at all. Well, what do we have the rest of those people in power for if they ain't gonna do nothing about it except for get on the Twitter, Bueller? Because I'm like, well, what's their job? So y'all just telling me that somebody can just become president, do whatever the hell it is that they want against the whole West law, and all anybody gonna do is get onto Twitter and talk shit. What do they do? What's their responsibility here? Anybody? Anybody? So no one can do anything, and he's just running rogue. And then it's just it is what it is. It is what it is, right? Gas prices are so high. You're absolutely right. So I'm gonna curb how I drive. But I remember gas prices being high prior to now too. I'm saying they high now, but I'm saying under previous presidents, I remember gas being high too, child. I remember I don't know which one it was. I don't remember which president it was, but I know damn well I saw four in our area, four effing dollars. And I didn't appreciate that either. I ain't appreciate that either. So we're gonna act like gas has only been high under Donald Trump now. These are the lessons that we're trying to teach. This is what we're really trying to say out here. Because I don't recall all this when it was high under any other person. I don't remember you talking like this. And again, this is the person that always said that why always asking them, how come y'all so loyal to Democrats? Ma'am, you're sounding the same exact way. So is it as you get older, you start to get feeble minded? I mean, I know that's the thing, right? So you lose all of your common sense, you use all of your brain matter and activity. And I'm not trying to be rude, okay? So your intelligence just slithers out of your body now because Donald Trump is president. It was 5:35 in Florida under Biden. I guess it was okay then, and it's just not okay now. Because I believe I told y'all the last time that he was president, my mom just filtered the internet every day looking for stuff because she would put out a newsletter to show and prove that police were killing black people in the street every day. She perused the internet like up all night and half of the morning, barely sleep, to put out this newsletter to tell people, oh, police killed somebody here, police killed somebody there, police killed somebody here, police killed somebody there. She had me stressed the fuck out, y'all. She had me stressed the fuck out. And then after a while, I was like, "Child, I can't talk to her. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too much." So she trying to do the same thing now. But people fall in line easily because the people on the phone have to be 70 and above. Yeah, yeah. Now everybody leaving the country. Ain't nobody make no moves. Everybody moving out of the country, which is a thing. We already know it's a thing, right? And she can afford to do so, right? When? What's taking so long, child? Because I'll come and visit. When? What's the plan? Just talking. And they just all be in agreement. Like, child, I don't know. Definitely, there's the Boule connection. Good morning, Boo. There's the Boule collection. Why do I keep saying that? Connection. But I guess even showing that's just not a thing. So they're in the church, they're in the politics, they're in your home. And like that girl has said, because I've watched so many of these videos, I could just tell you about it, but it's probably better to hear it from their mouths about how they pledge, which is calling pledging when you get into a fraternity or sorority. You're pledging your allegiance. So you know how so many Black people have a problem with pledging allegiance to the flag of the United States of America? They have no problem with pledging allegiance to the sorority or fraternity. And if y'all are here, opine, please, to that fraternity and sorority, even though I know damn well y'all was brought up in the daggone church. At least 75% of Black people were brought up in a church. So it's okay to pledge to the idols, but then you have a problem with the United States and then stay here and then want to turn around and take their benefits. Not all, but the government should give to you. Okay, they should. I don't disagree. But if you want to live off of someone, then you can't be upset when they tell you the rules. You don't get to get and then you make the rules. It don't work that way. It don't work that way with anything. How you gonna be in charge when you ain't got shit? How you gonna be in charge when you the one that need the shit? How that work? That don't even make sense when you say it out loud. But I digress. So they're in a lot of places where we are at. So that's just coincidence. Colleges. I mean, I know you can pledge in college, obviously. But if it started out because Black people were ostracized from so many things because the white people wouldn't let them be there because of racism, and then you started it for that reason, okay, continue on the tradition. I get it. What are the acts of service? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? What do y'all do? I'm not even trying to be difficult. I just really want to know. I know that you can get together on a phone call and make collect millions of dollars for the presidential candidate that you want to be and get into office when that person is. Please understand that they did that for her because she's an AKA. So the fraternity put out the hooty hoo, and they all came together. Now, while they was caping for Joe Biden, they didn't do that D9 stuff for him. They did it for their sister because they're going to help each other before they help anyone else. That is the prime example at this point. That is the prime example at this point. And it's great to have connections, y'all. Listen to me. To network and things of that nature is the best way. Probably, excuse me, no, is the best way to find like a new positions or something like that to get help is to know people, right? It just makes it easier when you know a lot of people. But to see that come together so quickly, y'all. They came together with the quickness to get that put together. Don't you think when you think about it? And it was all the brothers because it was the men that did it first. Roly Roll got right together. How come they can't get together like that and activate their powers to get these reparations that everybody wants? I'm not saying for them to give the money for reparations. I'm saying to get together, Wonder Twins activate, and get up there after you got Joe Biden in office and have him get you your reparations. You know what the reparations was, y'all? The reparations was all of those D9ers that got those jobs. All those D9ers that thought that they was going to be in Fat City for 8 years. I promise you that they thought they was going to be in there for 8 years. They thought Joe Biden was going to be there for another 4 years, and they was going to chill and worry about the rest after the 7th year to see who was going to be next. I'm just saying. Tim says my wife coming on her 40th anniversary with her line sister. They do mentor kids, raise school money, etc. I ain't frat, but cool with most. I agree. I know plenty of D9 members. I know plenty. I know a lot. What I see, because I only see it from Facebook, okay, for the most part, for the women. And I'm not saying that they don't do community service because I know that they do things. I am talking about on a scale that we all know it well, on that type of time. Locally, I know they do things locally, go read to kids in school, um, you know, have their monthly meetings, weekly meetings, and I don't know what the hell they meet about. It's not for me to know, cha. But enough of them that are of age of me and more, they also be going to church. So, in given what I've seen, and somebody just said, "How you going to serve two masters? Sometimes three?" Because there's a lot of Masons around here too. But from what I've seen and heard, they do a lot of drinking. Masons anyway. They do a lot of partying and hanging out. Which, listen, I like it too. All right. I used to. Let me say I used to. I don't go out like that no more, but I used to. And then they wear their colors. They definitely wear their colors. There's one child that when I do go out that I hang out with, she ain't gonna go out the house without a pink or green on. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. They're not gonna miss a homecoming, which you went to school. Shout out to y'all. Come home. But I'm trying to understand what gets done on a larger scale that people should know. Much like when you saw them come together for Kamala. I don't be seeing nothing like that. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I'm missing it. Because yeah, I used to volunteer too, just because I just thought it was something I should do. I used to volunteer with kids in local schools because they encouraged us at work when you're trying to do things to pad your resume, I should call it. I'll call it pad your resume. See what it is that you do to give back. See what it is that you do for others, for service. That was us also. Well, it used to be a thing in corporate America. I'm not trying to move anywhere, so I don't know if it's a thing still, but definitely is a thing for you to move up to do stuff like that. Since there's so many allegedly black children that need to be adopted, because remember I just did that story about the little boy who was just dropped off to have open heart surgery when nobody was there with him, and then the white woman and her husband adopted him and all his brothers and sisters. And then somebody had a comment about her heart was in the right place, but so it's always a but they can, and you know the list, teach the culture, don't know nothing about black people. How are they going to know this? How are they going to know that? You know what I mean? And it's like, but you didn't do it. How come they not getting together to make sure that as many black kids are adopted so they don't have to grow up in those horrible homes and conditions enough of the time? I'm not saying it's all like that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Now then I would be like, you know what? Let's go. Not going and listening to Jamal Bryant wear his colors, which he shouldn't be doing in the pulpit, while telling y'all what to do about selling stock and doing boycotts. I don't understand what that has to do with the church anyway. Yeah, you know what? Maybe. Good morning, legend. Definitely, probably not a foster parent. I didn't even read the whole paragraph because, of course, it's a soliloquy, and I'm like, child, I ain't even got time. I don't even have time because you're just gonna piss me off. Because of me being black, I've told y'all I had to go buy a book to learn how to do my children's hair, and I was clowned for that. I was made fun of for that, as opposed to, oh well, just, the expectation is because I'm black I should know how to do it. It's supposed to come out of my pores to know how to do a kid's hair, my first kid. I mean, I'm just expected to know that. That's supposed to be within us as blacks. No, 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 nothing positive. Just that's goofy. You should know. Who goes and buys a book? Well, how the hell do you learn anything? Oh yeah, my bad. How dare I say that? A lot of stupid stuff that makes no sense happens in the community. But the 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 black people that are still carrying on about this stupid ass conversation about Jamal Bryant calling off the boycott, and then he said it was a fast, changing the words later, the bait and switch as they always do. Yeah, who just said that? Like, yeah, like it's supposed to be in the DNA, child. But I was listening to Hood Servative the other day when he was playing TikToks, and it's like these women are just arguing with the fact that they started the boycott and no man can come through and think he gonna change it. I don't know who Jamal Stewart or Jamal Bryant think he is. I don't even know where I got Stewart from. I don't know who Jamal Bryant think he is, but black women did this. Black women started this. Black women are in charge of this. I swear they just want to say black women, right? And so I'm like, so he said three of the four demands was met. Why don't y'all talk about that? Okay, we know he spoke out of turn. Y'all got him. All right, you got him to apologize. He's already under your feet. He said he would stand behind you and beside you and wherever you want him to be. What more do y'all want? What more do y'all want? Okay, you started it. So what's the status? So where the money reside? The tangibles that he said that he got. Well, it was found out that he lied about one of them. So technically he only got two of the four. He only got two of the four. That's not sounding very pastor like. But there's plenty of things that he said that don't sound pastor like. Allegedly. So guilty here of putting off-center plaits in my daughter's hair. You know what I ended up doing most of the time? I'm not good at cornrowing. I figured it out, but it just didn't look as good as like what my cousins could do. So I did pigtails all the time. I just did a bunch of pigtails over their heads, had those little ballies, and then had barrettes at the end. That was my go-to. It took time. It took time. It was a Saturday project. We sit in front of the TV. I had a whole basket of barrettes and ballies, I should call them, rubber bands, anything that made them happy and feel like I want that, fine child. Pick through this basket and let me know what it is that you want in this head, because it would be all color ballies and everything. Lose barrettes every day, lose barrettes every minute. But child, what was I gonna do? What was I gonna do? Child, because you can't have them going out looking like a pickaninny, and that's an old phrase for show for show. My mother-in-law would have a fit. My mother-in-law would have a fit. And it's like this is a task to do this. So we get it done as best we can. We can't do it every day. Everybody got to work. Everybody got to do homework. Everybody got to sleep. Everybody got to eat. So it was like a weekend task. So sometimes the task did not get happen. My mother-in-law would have a fit. I'm like, girl, if you don't get out of my black face, Lord help your people. EJ, member for 11 months. I appreciate you, hun. Thank you so much. Shout out to all the channel members. Shout out to all of y'all that are up in here this early in the morning. I see you. I appreciate you. TGIMF and F. I'm on the 24-hour watch. EJ says, pastor post to not be involved in politics, like they post to respect the politician or authority that is in power. Ishkrats are on TDS, but Trump is bad. Absolutely. You already know. You already know. Just loyal to a fault. Like disloyalty to a fault. Imagine if black people were that loyal to their relationships. Oh no. Oh no. Imagine if you were this committed to your marriages. Imagine if you were this committed to doing what's best for your children. Imagine if you were this committed to doing what's best for your family in this way, and maybe we wouldn't be headed towards being worth $0. Imagine if you were this committed to going into the actual communities where the help is needed and teaching them how to make money, how to be successful, how to be on the come up, instead of saying it's white supremacy, discrimination, and racism that keeps you from getting anything. Because listen, the less money you have, the more grants you can get. You should be going to college. If you get Pell Grants, go to college for show for show. That's on them. And what's the best time to do it is when you ain't got no money. Shout out to me. Because in the beginning, when I did college right out of high school, I didn't pay for shit. It was all paid for because I was emancipated. Because I got tossed, okay? But then later on, they in corporate America talking about, well, when you try and climb the ladder, it would be better if you had a degree. Oh yeah, all right. And went into debt because, of course, we had too much money, so I had to get student loans, and now I'm still paying them back, but I'm almost there. I'm under 10,000. Yeah, I'm under 10,000. But go teach them that so they can get all this knowledge that y'all got while y'all was in college. Nobody want to help them with that. So going into the community and helping the community is not a good way to do it. I'm just asking questions and thinking, these are the things that I think about. When they asked James Clyburn, why didn't you get Joe Biden to say that he would put money to go towards going into the communities and cleaning them up, and getting people to get banks to go in there and maybe teach people financial literacies, go to the libraries and get that done. Go into the schools and get that done, especially the predominantly black areas. Get a financial literacy person to come in there, because everybody always complains about the fact that nobody teaches anybody. Well, first of all, you could do it. But then again, if you go get a book to help you to do your child's hair, you get clowned for that. So I can't even imagine what would happen if you went and got a book on finance, money, credit, or anything like that. But if I say it, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, even though I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I'm just being a white supremacist to just go ahead and say, this will be, better for your success. But some of y'all would rather, not y'all, you know what I'm saying. But some of y'all would rather let your kids be out at 10 something at night so that they can allegedly grape some other child, put rocks in their mouth, and then get on camera after being tried as an adult and smile like you was about to get a bowl of ice cream while fighting for same kid to come out of jail. Because with that situation, y'all, and I know I'm all over the place, I'm trying to understand how the hell y'all was out at 10 something at night, Bueller. I don't give a damn if it's the summertime because it was in June. The sun goes down at 9 everywhere. And if Sonny Boy already had a juvenile case and you don't want to let us know about it, that sounds a bit like he already got some issues and troubles that was going on, but you still want to fight to bring him out here because she probably fought the first time. And I'm not saying you shouldn't fight for your kids, but you also need to assess. You got that blind loyalty with your kid when they do degenerate things. Again, imagine if you had that blind loyalty to your damn relationship so you can keep your family together so that you ain't got to worry about this. Or let me say you have less probability of having to worry about shit like this. But if you have a demon, you have a demon. That's it. That's all. Some of the things that the community is loyal to as opposed to the things that they should be loyal to makes me question, like, is it a mental issue, which is where it comes from? Do you listen to anything other than what you like to hear? Do you listen to anything to challenge your thought? Because you should challenge yourself at times. You should challenge everything, honestly. You should challenge everything. Does this make sense? Let me talk to my counselor. I talk to my I have a therapist and I talk to once a month. And she be having me realize some things. Trust me when I tell you. I just be running off at the mouth and she said, "Now you know." Or she'll say, "Well, maybe." And not and she's a tether. She's a black tether. I'm gonna be honest. And she just said, "Well, maybe you need to figure out why it is that you feel this way instead of blaming or thinking that it's somebody else, maybe it's you." Ooh, push back, bitch. All right. I said, all right, all right, all right. I said, I'll think about that. She's like, yeah, and maybe you should blah, 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 and blah. And maybe you should blah, 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 and blah. And think before you speak. Child, be giving it to me, okay? But it's weird and it's crazy to go and to seek some help or to get a perspective that's from a complete stranger sometimes, as opposed to listen to your auntie because you hear what my auntie has to say, or to listen to your mom. Maybe you should get an independent person who don't know you from a can of paint because they can see it from a different perspective because they didn't change your diaper when you was a kid. I know y'all have heard that before. I used to change your diapers. Child, I hope so. I was a damn baby, child. What y'all want me to do about that? Okay, I've changed my cousin's diapers too. I would never go to them one day and be like, girl, I used to change your diaper. Somebody had to do it. They was babies. Shit. Maybe that's just me. I'm wilding out now, y'all. I'm wilding out. Oh my God. But yeah, that was just it was not a good family call for me. And I don't think I can go back. I'm definitely not going back next month, y'all. I be texting my sister. I'm like, "Well, you coming?" She was like, "No." I'm like, "Well, shouldn't you come to talk to your family?" She said, "No." I said, "But what if?" She said, "Girl, I'm not interested in that." She was like, "I'll talk to your mother whenever I talk to your mother, and God bless the rest, basically. But no, I'm not coming to that." I said, "Well, what are you doing?" She said, "Nothing." I said, "That's why you could come." She said, "No, no." And me over here feeling like, oh my God, wrestling with, oh, I should do it. It's the right thing to do. Oh my God. I'm not going next month, y'all. Now that's what I say now until the text comes through and it says, it's the time for the family meeting. But the plan at this point is not to go because, child, they ain't got nothing to talk about anyway. Can't say that I haven't gone, but oh, I'm a firm believer in not doing things to drive you up a freaking wall, okay? And they drive me up a wall every single time. But the blind loyalty is crazy to me because I was about to say to them, I'm like, do y'all listen to anything besides CNN and MSNBC? Because when I hear them talk and they talking about Rachel Maddow and what they said on CNN, I already know they probably watched The View. And the fact that my mom would watch The View is just boggles my mind. It just boggles my mind. But child, like I always say, what the hell do I know? But I'm gonna go now so that I can get to work because this is my last day. It's 7:31 a.m. EST. Right now, they got like three or four terminals shut over in the Philadelphia International Airport. So I'm going to figure out what I'm gonna wear in order to wear sneakers because it's gonna be a trek. I already know. So I'm gonna live stream tomorrow. I don't know if I'll come back later because I have so much to do before I leave. But I will definitely be live streaming tomorrow morning. It's gonna be early so we can see what the heck is going on, especially if it's crazy. So hopefully y'all be there. It'll be like 3 or 4 in the morning because the plane is at 5. But I'm so happy and excited to be the hell on up out of here to get a break and clear my mind. Shout out to all of y'all for being here. I see you. I appreciate you. Thank you everybody that donated. Shout out to all the mods. Shout out to all the channel members. I see you. I appreciate you. Y'all make sure you hit the like button for me. Subscribe. If you are new, make sure you comment. Shout out to Corey Holcomb. I see you all in the next one.